Hey guys, welcome to Restobin. My name is Kushal, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install and configure the basic WordPress plugins for advanced features. So in the previous video we covered about WordPress appearance, where we talked about the WordPress themes and the WordPress editor and the branding, site logo, and we also covered about the menus and other widget setup. So in this video we are going to mainly focus on the WordPress plugins. So there are least of couple of plugins, and I also written an article on this which I'm going to cover in this video. So there are certain list of plugins that are available and which I think you should be using as a basic. We would be covering these all basic plugins, and there are some of the advanced plugins which you can see here at the bottom. These are the advanced plugin like the SEO plugin, the CND enabler. For this I will be creating other video which would be individually covering these all extensions or the plugins. So for this video we would be limiting ourselves to only to this basic plugins. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start off with the Akismet anti-spam plugin. So I have my Restobin demo account already opened in the separate browser. So you can you need to go to the dashboard, and if you saw my last video in which we have set up the WordPress blog, in that I have shown you that the WordPress is pre-installed with this particular extension, that is Akismet. So you don't have to install it. All you need to do is you just need to go in install plugin section and then activate your plugin. So once you activate it, it will ask you to create and set up the API key, that is your Akismet account. So just go, and this button will be helping you to sign up a new Akismet account. So I already gave a link in here, so you can use this link as well. So once you go in here, you need to sign up WordPress.com account, and then you would be able to get an API key which you need to enter here. So let me just click on this. It says activate Akismet account. So if you already have an account, just go and log in into your WordPress.com. If you don't have, just register here. Once you complete your registration, you will get an API key which you need to enter in this. So I already have an API key, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use that API key and then paste it. So let me connect with my API. Okay, so Akismet is now activated, you can see here, and I am currently using the basic plan, and I would suggest you to use the same. So once you are in here, you can just go and check your comments. So you will be having a spam section. So if you want to make any changes, you can just go and click here Akismet, and you would be able to see all the stats once this started showing. So there are certain changes settings here you can do, like if you want to silently discuss the words, or you want to put in the spam, or you want to show or display a privacy notice into the comment form. So those all things you can do, but I would suggest you to keep it the way the default is. So yeah, this is all about the Akismet plugin. So next is the classic editor. So back in December 2019, the WordPress had a major upgrade which is 5.0, in which they have introduced something called as Gutenberg editor or the block editor, which most of the developers as well as the writers didn't like actually, and they were a bit hesitant on migrating to this new editor because they were used to the classic editor. So what they did is they have collaborated with some of the developers, and including the WordPress community, what they did is they created a new plugin which is called as Classic Editor, and they added in the repository. So if I show you the current how it looks, so if we go here, new post, so this is the block editor. So what you need to do is you need to add blocks for everything here. So this is the gallery block. Okay, let me close this one. So paragraph block, write something, and then cover if you want to add something. So these are the block editor. But if you are a traditional user of Microsoft Word or the Google Documents, then you wouldn't like this editor. Or maybe if you are a first time user and you wanted to get start something new, and then this is the best way. You can just go and start using this. I personally been using WordPress since like almost like 5 years from now, and I'm used to this classic editor. So if you want to add the classic editor, just go to add new. Yes, leave the site. In the feature itself, it's appearing the classic editor, or if it's not there, just go and search here in the plugins and then you will find the classic editor. So once it is installed, just go activate it. So you are in the activation. So once it's activated, so there are certain settings you need to do. So you can either click on the setting or you can go to writing, and you will have this options coming up in here. So either you can set the default editor as a classic or the block editor, and whether you want all other users which have registered in your blog to able to switch between the block and the classic editor. So this is totally up to you. So if I switch it to yes and I want the default to be classic editor and click on save changes, so if I go and create a new post, so this has changed from block editor to the classic editor. So this is the classic editor where you have all the buttons, and then you have all the settings here itself instead of going to the block editor. And if any of the user want to change it, so what they can do is they can go to profile, and here you have option. Say if I want to switch to block editor, then hit save, and then again go to new. So for me as a user, it would be changed to block editor. So this is how you can switch between the classic and the block editor. Moving on to the next plugin, which is Contact Form 7. So if you're running any blog or a website, so you might need a contact plugin or a contact form where the user can actually contact you or reach out to you for any questions or support or any service that you're providing. So for that, what you need to do is you need to have a contact form. By default, WordPress doesn't support a contact form. What we have is a plugin, and this is a really helpful plugin, which is Contact Form 7, that I have been using since my starting of the blogging. So Contact Form 7, just go and search for Contact Form 7, and then you would find some plugin and you can just go install it. So once it is installed, you can activate it from here, or you can just go to install plugins and then activate. So once you activate, you will find this new tab or new menu appearing. So in this you will have certain options, like whether you want to add the new or you want to access the forms which are already created. Since it's new, then I would go and add new. So this is the template. There are certain other tabs in here which you can set up based on your requirement, but since this is form is already predefined with a template, then you can just go ahead and use this. So there is also a guide in which I hyperlinked here, which is Contact Form 7 guide, which you can go and visit to make the changes in this template. So all you need is to just give it a name, contact us. If you want to make any changes, then you can do it. In the mail section, you will have the option like you can set up from where to demo subject line and what are the body content should be there. So basically you would be receiving an email to your mailbox, not from the user who has submitted the form, and in the reply to will be the name of the user, I mean the email ID of the user who has submitted the form. So whenever you receive an email and you want to reply them back, just click on the reply back and then you can send the email to them. So once this is done, just hit on save button. So you will be created with this new ID. This is nothing but the short code. So if I copy this short code and create a new page and say I name it as a contact, and I add a paragraph and then paste this, publish it. So once I publish it, I can go and view this page. So you can see demo.restore bin/contact, and this is the contact form. So this is exactly same how the contact form will look now. Now if you want to add some content at the top of this contact and below of the contact, then you can do. So this is how you can create the contact form. So you can create it for services pages or advertisement pages, I mean advertisement contact. So you can create multiple contact forms using the Contact Form 7 plugin. So moving on to the WP sitemap. So this is one of the type of the sitemap. So there is something called as XML sitemap, which is different, which is used for Google Search Console to submit, and then which indexes the pages. This is totally different. This sitemap means you will be hyperlinking all the pages that are there on your website. So this is the restorebing.com's sitemap. So here you can see I have added some community or social links, and these are the pages that are already there, and these are the posts by category, and in that particular category what our posts are there. So here you can see all the posts. So this is what the sitemap look like. So it's generally give a quick links of all and hierarchy of how your website is structured. So in order to install your sitemap, so what you need to do is you need to go into the plugin, add new, and search for WP sitemap. Most probably the first option is not correct. So if I go, yes, so this is the plugin WP sitemap page. So if you go and install this and quickly activate it from here, so you will have the shortcode I have mentioned in here, WP sitemap page. Just copy this sitemap page again, like we created for the contact. You can just create another sitemap. This is the page title, and I want to make it a paragraph and paste it, and then publish and publish. And if I visit this page, so yes, so since there are only two pages just now I created, one is the contact and second is the sitemap. So this way you can add the sitemap. So if the next time when you post something on your blog, then the post sitemap will appear just like this, post by category. So you can just see what all posts are there in that particular categories. Okay, moving on to the next, which is cookie notice plugin. So recently what GDPR compliance has done is, like people they have enforced all throughout the world that they should give a notice to a user that what the data is being used for, and how they are going to collect the data and how they are going to use it. So this notice plugin is essential for now for all the WordPress users, the one who are using the Google Analytics or Google AdSense. So in order to install that, just quickly go to dashboard, and again search for the plugin, which is cookie notice. And this is really sweet plugin, you don't have to worry most about it. So where it is, okay, this is the one. This is cookie notice by Factory. Just activate it, and if you go to settings, you will have the cookie notice. Here you can add the message, what button you need to display, whether you want to add the privacy policy link, then you can just go and select a privacy policy page. If you have anything or a custom link, what to do if certain users refuses, and what to revoke, all those things are there, the blocking script. So this is a little bit advanced level, so I'm not going to go into this detail, just that you have installed this plugin and ask user to just what do we say, like enable that I don't want, and then you don't have to worry about anything. So there are certain blocking script that you can block in here, and there is also an option like on a scroll or on the reload, whether that bar which is going to appear at the bottom can be disappear. So if I just go and save this for now, just for the demo purpose, and visit the site, so you would be able to see this. We use the cookie to ensure that the given experience is on a website. So all this message that you entered in here would be appearing, and you will have an option whether to accept it or block it. So if I say yes, okay, then that will disappear. So this is how you can set up the cookie notice. So instead of okay button, you can change it to accept, which make more sense, and then save it. So you can even change the text color and the background color of everything based on your theme that you are using. So this is about the cookie notice plugin. And finally, the easy table of contents. If you visit any Wikipedia page, you would be seeing this content which has all the hyperlinks to subsections in the page. So if I click on this users and editors, it will go to the users and editors section. So I found this plugin, that is Easy Table of Contents, really helpful. What you need to do is just you need to install the plugin, and there are a lot of customization options available in this. Just make the customization per your needs and then hit on save changes. So if I have to just show you, just add new, type Easy Table of Contents, probably the first plugin, yes, and go to install plugins and activate this one. And if you go to settings, you will have this table of contents. So here you can see like where to enable this support. So basically I would be using it on my pages, auto insert on the pages, where it should start. I would say before the first heading. When you want to show this, if there are more than 4 headings, I would say let's switch this to 3 or keep it 4, no problem. Display header, how the label should be displaying, and whether you should have a toggle. So even on my blog, if you go and scroll to the top before the first heading, so this is what exactly the plugin does. This is the table of content, and here you can see you have a toggle button which will close, enable and disable this content, and if you click on any of the link, it will smoothly scroll to that particular section. So this is the use. So you can set up all the things like what should be its width, whether it should float, what should be theme, and the colors, and all those settings you can make it. So there are some advanced sections as well, where you want to just make sure that H1, H2, H2, H3 and H4 should be appearing, and H5 and H6 should be ignored from this heading. So all those customization you can do. Once it is done, just go and hit on save changes. So whenever you post a blog with more than 3 headers, this table of content kind of a layout will be added into your WordPress post. So this is all about the table contents. Moving on to the next one. So these were all the basic WordPress plugins that one should be using in their blog. So you can just go and spend some time in configuring how you want. And there are some of the advanced plugins which I use, for which we need to access SSH and SFTP, and these are really helpful plugins which improves my site speed, security. It's helping optimizing my blog. So this particular section I would be taking in detail. I would be creating one after the other videos and the articles for each particular plugin I have mentioned in here, so which is going to be very detailed and very useful for you to set up your blog perfectly. So this particular post has all the plugins which I currently use. There are some of the plugins which I have not mentioned because those are particular to my theme which I'm currently using. Apart from that, if you're using the default theme which is 2016 or 2019, so you can just stick with these plugins, and that will help in improving the entire user experience as well as the speed and the performance of your website. And the most important thing which I wanted to share about the plugins is that always make sure that you are using the minimal plugin as much as possible. If you have a WordPress which has like hundreds of plugins, that will directly impact on the site speed and the server performance. So what I would suggest is to stick to the limited number of plugins. If you want to add any features, check whether if you are able to add that particular feature using the custom script or the custom snippet that we can add into function.php file. If not, then just go ahead with the plugins. I would say if you are not using any particular plugin which is absolute and no longer read, just go and delete it. Not just deactivate it, but delete it. That will help you and your server to run faster and smoother. That's all guys in this video, and in upcoming video I'm going to start off with the security plugin which is fail to ban, which I have mentioned in here. So there are this all plugins I'm going to cover in the next upcoming videos that you can watch in my YouTube channel as well as on the restorebin.com blog. That's all guys. Let me know if you have any comments, and see you soon. Cheers, have a great day.